found that there's a lot of complaints about the wage that we pay for the police officers at the centers and at the state hospitals. That our hiring procedures weren't good. In fact, the hiring and training issues are so bad that we have in the state hospital system, and we've been working very hard to create a system. In this regard, we actually, somebody that's hired by one, another director won't just hire that person. They want to run them back through background checks, want to do the hiring interviews. They want to make sure that the person's qualified. There's not a sense that what's been done in one state hospital is sufficient for another state hospital. And the training really is pretty lacking. We have staff who we aren't paying high wages to, that we aren't doing a really good job hiring, and we aren't training, and our policies and procedures are lacking. So, normally I wouldn't like to be in a position of sitting at this table and telling you all this, but I want to give you the facts to really drive home why we're coming forward with this type of a proposal. So what we looked at is how do we fix this? How do we get to the core of this, and how do we make sure that this doesn't continue? And so the proposal that we've come up with is really to create an office at the agency level with investigative and support functions. I do believe that people want to do well in their jobs. If you tell them what their jobs are and you give them the resources to do them, I think most people want to do a good job. And I think that's the case here. I think most of the people that I have in these positions want to do a good job. Some of them don't have the proper training. I need to train them.
Is there any focus on salaries and compensation? I know that's a major issue in getting good staff and keeping good staff.
Yeah, unfortunately that's a larger collective bargaining issue. So this group had a salary increase. I believe they had about a 7% the last go round, and so it's an issue that we'll continue to engage on in the administration as we figure out the strategy on collective bargaining.
I just want to make one observation about the recruitment and retention and the response that's a larger collective bargaining issue, and it is, of course, subject to collective bargaining. But my own experience with the county was, if we had a problem with recruitment and retention that we recognized, and we didn't wait for the next contract to come up and bargain it. We went to the bargaining unit and said, we have identified this as an issue. We're not attracting the quality or character of people we'd like to have these positions, and the ones that we'd like to keep are leaving, and we want to do something to change that, to make it more attractive to come here and to stay here. I can't think of an instance in which the bargaining unit said, oh no, we don't like that idea of increasing compensation or some other aspect of remuneration in order to attract and keep better people. So to me, that if that is an issue, and I believe you have identified that as an issue, then I would like to see within the administration that addressed.
Any public comments on this matter?
Craig Brown for California Statewide Law Enforcement Association. We represent the 500 or 600 hospital police officers who do the work you're talking about. We think the agency's got this one right. This is a policy, procedure, recruitment, training problem, and that's what they're addressing. I spent 10 years at an agency in this state government, and I completely agree with Mr. Dickens' point about not bringing things to agency as a general rule. This is a very appropriate exception to that general rule. This place needs to develop policies, procedures. It needs to be done under trained law enforcement people, not under hospital administrators, and I think they've got exactly the right balance. To the collective bargaining issue, we also recognize this, and in fact, in our last contract, devoted extra money of what we bargained for to exactly address this problem. These people are paid very deficiently. They are getting a higher pay raise in this round of contracts, but they're thousands and thousands of dollars a month under the highway patrol. And we do need a long-term fix to that solution, but we completely support the administration's proposal and look forward to working on the trailer bill language.